Welcome back. I'm here with Dale Barr. He is with the GESU Housing Inc., Executive Director, COO. Dale, thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure, thanks.
Well, let's talk about what GESU Housing is,
Okay.
for those who don't know about it.
Yeah, we're kind of like, remember the old ad with Avis being trying harder because we're second?
Right.
Well, it's kind of what we are to Habitat and Holy Name Housing, but we've been at this about 16 years. We are in North Omaha, between 45th and Maple, and
Kind of the area that you
Burdett.
serve. Okay.
These are all, we build new homes on vacant lots, so it's all infill. And Brother Mike Wilmot started the nonprofit, and he's pretty well known around town. He was a coach at prep and involved with the Jesuit middle school, and built one of their schools down there for him. So that's how he got started. And we've kind of expanded now in terms of numbers of homes per year and stuff, but that's what we do. We build homes for people who are at 80% of median income. They have to qualify for a $68,000 mortgage, just like you or I would.
Sure.
So they have to have good credit, got to have a job. They work through another nonprofit, wonderful people. It's at Omaha 100.
Okay.
And they get qualified through them, and then they get them to a bank. If they can come up with that $68,000 mortgage, the city has HUD money and of $60,000 is 0% interest. And they buy our homes for $128. That's what they're appraised at.
Okay.
So my job is.
Yes, what's your job?
It costs us anywhere from $180 to $200 to build them.
Okay.
So that's where I go out and try to get the private donations and get some grants and such. And there have been some wonderful people, obviously we've been at it 16 years, that have been helping us through the years here in town. The Kiewits and the Sherwoods and the Hawks and a lot of private people who, the $5 and $10 stuff adds up as well.
Absolutely.
So that's how we fund the house. It's kind of a third if you look at it from a 60,000 foot level. But if we've got the lots, the city sells us these lots for $1 a pop, and then we have to get them cleaned up. There's the trees, and sometimes we run into another house that was just buried. We'll have to dig out the old house to put in a new one. So the costs kind of rise when you start thinking of some of those other things. But
sure, for the renovation piece of it
So these homes are 3 bedrooms, 1,350 square feet. We've got probably 52 of them done right now in that same area, so between 45th and 40th and Maple and Burdett. So it's gone very well.
Yeah. And so I'm going to jump in here too, because what we were just talking about, what the big thing is the Energy Star certified homes. I mean, that's huge. So talk about that a little bit.
That's a federal program,
right? Where
you have someone come and inspect the home, and they measure the air going in and out of the house.
Okay.
And so there are efficient ways to keep the heating and cooling within the house, so you're not letting it leak out. So it's a cost to us probably around $2,500 to $3,000 a house. But we get them certified, and the bottom line is that the homeowner probably gets around a 40% deduction in their utilities.
Okay, which is big.
It's huge.
For these folks it's big for anybody.
Sure,
but for these
but
folks.
it's worth the money, because their house payment is based on their $68,000 mortgage.
Right.
So now they got a house payment, let's say in the $650 range, and you cut the utilities in half. Now you've got people who can maintain the house and be there.
Right.
So in 16 years, we've never had anybody move out. We've never had anybody foreclosed on, because it's their home.
That's an amazing record, by the way. Congratulations.
It's something to talk about. Yeah, it's kind of cool. We'll have 67 done by the end of our next construction cycle, all in that area.
Right.
And so partnering with the city and Omaha 100 has been pretty good.
Yeah. So I want to talk about two things before we wrap up. Is how can people help? I mean, how can people Do you take donations? How can the community get involved with what you do?
Well, donations is the big part.
Okay.
I have a general contractor that builds homes. So that's people want to volunteer and such, and to do 10 houses at a time, I can't wait for volunteers. So I've got
sure. Makes
so
sense.
Anyway, the donations, the Donate Now button on the website.
Okay. Which is what? Your website is?
www.GESUHousing.com.
Which is GESU.
Correct.
Housing. Okay.
Right. Brother Wilmot, who started this, that was the school he went to in Milwaukee.
Okay,
So
I was wondering, I mean, yeah, where'd that name come from?
He named it after the school he went to. So
Okay.
I didn't know where it came from either, but that's
Yeah.
where it came from. So
And then also you have, the golf tournament was in July, but that's kind of your big fundraising event
right.
that you have
So
every July.
we've got it planned for July 29th in 19
Yeah.
at Champions Run.
Okay.
And what we try to do is build a house. So we golf and do all the things you would normally do at a netting, but afterwards it's not an auction actually, it's people can buy a toilet or buy cupboards or
Okay.
buy
Oh, I love
buy
that.
a window.
Yeah.
And we've got the prices for all of them,
Okay.
and what we try to do is build a house.
Right.
And so this last year we actually made our goal. We tried for $60,000 as that third, if you will.
Sure.
And we did it this last July,
Right.
so it was
Yeah.
a big success, yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much, Dale, for coming on the
Yeah.
show.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and you're in our annual giving guide, so you can go there and read more about
Yeah.
the organization. And again, go to your website.
They can
Is
call me up, www.gesuhousing.com, or they can call me at 614-4776. I'd be
Okay.
happy to talk to them.
all right, Dale. Thank you again
bet.
for being on the show.
Yeah.
And thank you. We will be right back.